Hi there, Aries. It is Sebastian giving you your reading for April, the month of April. It's been a great journey, March has, but I think people are grateful that April's coming. New month, new perspectives, new energies, however way you want to see it. So, Aries, you're doing really well for yourself. You took the advice in the past few readings. I can see there's a lot of calmer waters. There's a lot of reach for the stars, but there's also a lot of some of you in the position of thinking the world is like Alice in Wonderland right now. There's a lot of choices. There's a lot of things that are I don't know if they're a distraction to you. I know a few months ago you were in a position of things where really just being a distraction. It doesn't look like things are being a distraction for you right now, but I can see that there's still feelings of that. It could be in a good way too when you're feeling Alice in Wonderland. Uh, yeah, it can always be a good thing for me anyway. When I see Alice in Wonderland, I think for me it's a good thing, but for some people it might be terrifying. So whatever way you're seeing the new month or whatever your way you're seeing April coming forward, I think there's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of mysterious energies coming your way. All right, so Aries, let's see. You've been relaxing, which is nice. You've had your sanctuary. You've had your peace. But there's always a feeling of ruin as well. I think that you're worrying way too much about past circumstances and reactions and circumstances. But there's a lot of worrisome feelings about betrayal, about people not giving you what it is that you deserve or need during this time. So I'm not too sure what happened here, what kind of circumstances would make you feel like that, lost, despair, lots of swords. So you had 10 of swords. There's a lot of I don't know. I think that there's fear of people leaving you behind as well, which is an interesting concept because Aries, you're not an easy person to forget. So there's a lot of like, I hope people don't betray me. I hope people stick by me. There's lots of that going on with your cards. Not that that's a problem, but it can be if it's keeping you up at night. It's saying that the mixed messages that you're receiving, to not worry about the mixed messages. You're always going to get them, right? You're always going to get these mixed messages, but it says be brave when it comes to accepting the mixed messages that you need to accept. So when it comes to recent influences, you've had a lot of success. You've had a lot of great times. We discussed this a few months ago. Actually, last month was a really good reading about you came from a past of success. You came from understanding that you were successful. And there was a lot of things that were happening to have this success come to fruition. Like you were happy to be in this position of success and seeing things in a very different way. Um, which is nice. I think that's always nice to know that people love their success and understand that success is important. That's always a good thing. But I think that in your recent past as well, there was a lot of intuition, mystery, spirituality, higher calling. I think you've lost that for some reason. Don't worry. I find that people come and go with their intuition. Like sometimes they're extremely heightened and sometimes they're not. There's a lot of grief and loss and suffering, and there's a lot of like seeking justice and karma and wanting justice and karma for particular people. But there's also this kind of presence where you have to be silent due to this process. Like you need to be silent. You need to not speak about your truth just yet. Well, Aries, you've got yourself into a situation that I don't know. There's always a woman on your mind, which is nice to see. That's always a bright thing. What are pearls around this woman? I don't know who this person is. Maybe they like pearls. Maybe there's a name. The name resonates somehow. But I think that having a person in your mind always is a nice thing. Whether this person's in your life or not, I'm not too sure. It just says that this person's been a shining star, a bright light to you. You wish you could reach out to them. Not sure why that would be the case. But it says that there was love there was unity there was this particular relationship, but you were too charming and curious and witty at the time, and you didn't really provide enough communication. Mentally, you weren't there for this person. And although that's the past, that's the case there, you're not like that now. There's a lot of questioning whether this person is single or whether you should reach out to this person or look, friendships are really hard to forget and deny. I'm not going to say anything else further from that. We all know that. We all know friendships are really special. We all know that sometimes we struggle in finding the right words or finding the right way to communicate particular friendships. So I understand that that's something that you're curious about the past, what you had in the past with this person. I'm pretty sure they're still thinking about you. With that though, there's possible goals in your destiny. One of them is dreams. You're still going to be that person that's dreaming a lot, and you're still going to be that person that's going to provide more inner strength to your inner child or the person inside that is still innocent in a way. But Aries, you're always going to be like that. You're always going to provide that inner child with a little bit more fuel than most star signs. There's a lot of like don't trust the men in your life right now because there's a lot of lies and deception, and there's a lot of transformation manipulation going on with the men in your life right now, which is an interesting thing to see in the cards. It says just trust this woman. Like I don't know if this I think when it comes to like this sort of stuff, I think that everyone has that kind of attraction for someone who's wise beyond their years and who offers them comfort and gives them a strong advice. I think everyone has that attraction in their life. Whether that's a good thing, it's not for me to say. Whether that's something that people need to watch out over. Again, not for me to say. That's really up to the person to go through that mindset or that understanding of themselves. But there is a lot of healing or seeking truth, and there's a lot of sorrow and nervousness about relationships and marriage in the past. I don't know. Areas, I'm not in a position to tell you or advise you what you should or shouldn't do. But if this person offers you the best advice and you think that they're the person for you for that advice, reach out to them, gravitate yourself towards them for in this instance. Absolutely. So there's a lot of negative feelings from beginnings, like new beginnings. You haven't had your new beginning yet, you feel. Not a problem. I understand that completely. It also says that with your friends and families, there was a lot of illusions and wishful thinking about their prospects and what they wanted. And just know also in your near future, you're going to plan things as well. Okay, so to close off what happened in the past and how things are looking for you, the near future for you in this whole situation about betrayal, I'm not too sure who's betraying you and why you need so much rest and sanctuary, is saying that ambition will come your way. There'll be a lot of loyalty and faithfulness, but you've got to keep moving forward the way that you are. Areas, you know how to get yourself out of big trouble. You know how to get yourself away from particular aspects that most people don't know how to get themselves away from. So I think that you're going to do great in this aspect. But it's also saying that in the past with your family, the last thing about the past in your family is that they had a lot of wishful thinking, a lot of not understanding where they wanted to head. Then there's a lot of misguided interpretation about what they wanted for the family. I think keep yourself true and keep yourself at a pleasant pace is a good thing. There's a lot of, when it comes to hopes and dreams, there's a lot of sensible choices. There's a lot of good business sense. There's a lot of welcoming things. So that's a good insight to see that you're being like that with your hopes and your dreams. And obviously, Aries, it's all obvious all the time that you'll end up in a successful situation. I think that you've been really resilient. I think that there's been some challenges, some hoops that you've had to go through. You've had to run a mile, a marathon. You've had to do things that other people didn't think that you would do, or other people are surprised about your resilience and the way that you got yourself up and out of the trouble that you saw. However this looks like to you, or whatever may have happened in the past, you'd come out of it shining bright. And love and unity is always there. There's a lot of balance, and love and unity in relationships right now are powerful. Sure, sometimes we always think about a person, but always self-evaluate, always have love in the mind, and try not to be defensive. But when the time does come, you do need to stand up for yourself. A few cards just flew out there when I was doing some clarifying cards. There's a time and place to defend yourself, and if you're in a position where your partner is not seeing you to your full potential, or they're not understanding you, you've got to fight for your freedom. You've got to fight for your purpose and your right. That's for sure. Okay, Aries, I will speak to you next month. Until then, bye.